Welcome back to the channel, guys. What do we got?
I'm not going to start with it's been a while because
most of our videos start with it's been a while.
But it has been some time.
It's been 84 years.
It has. But we thought we'd get on here, give you a little update. We have some no prep do's coming up.
We do. A lot of no prep do's.
We finished off last year with a new ECU and Frank, and we also, what else did we change? Bigger injectors, and then we've sort of dove straight into the dual pump setup.
And the bigger turbo.
Bigger turbo as well. So bigger nitrous kit.
And yeah, so now we're sort of at the stage where we're starting it, and we're starting to get control of the upgrades that we have made. And probably the biggest change that we're doing this year is trying to keep Frank going.
Yeah.
We made,
I would say,
stupid power with him, and not that he broke, he just, the firings got worn out.
There was that, there was a rocker.
There was a rocker?
Yeah, that had failed. There's a few smaller things that we fixed up, obviously. We've gone to a proper harmonic balancer instead of a jerry-rigged standard
it's got a Ross balancer on it now, so.
So we've changed a few things to fix that as well.
Bracketry for the second pump is now sort of mounted to the frame.
Yep.
So there's been like massive changes that take a long time to do. But
some might say probably changed too much all at once.
But we do that. We do that. So we're gonna clean the naughty corner up.
Yep.
We'll get, hopefully on this video, we'll get Frank on the hub dyno. We'll get somewhat of a tune worked out, you know, not stupid amount of power, although all of the upgrades we have planned for these upgrades to go well over 2,000 horsepower.
Yep, and then slowly lean on it from that point. We have enough gas, airflow, and fuel for 2,000 plus horsepower in the current setup.
Nearly 3.
Probably nearly 3, but
yeah,
I would say the motor's realistically 2, if we're lucky.
Yeah, like there'll be a little bit of R&D. We are starting back on Pro Mod Frank.
Yep.
So everything that we're going to learn here is going to go into that really light shell, that Pro Mod shell.
We're going to go and upset some people.
And we're going to go and upset some people. A little standard Toyota Dyno.
Yes, but anyway, we thought we'd throw the mics on today, and we'll give you some a look at what we've been up to.
Something to look at.
And where we're at, and where we plan on being in the next. How many weeks away is the first due?
First due is about a month away right now.
So we have 4 weeks to sort out a dual pump setup, the bigger nitrous setup.
Yep. And just run all of the accessories off the new ECU.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of them.
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Anyway.
How's that?
Intense.
That's what she said.
Okay, so we've got it in here. We are always time restricted on this car, just with what we've got going on in the shop at any one time. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put the screamer pipes straight out the bonnet while we're tuning. Then when we've got a bit of time, we'll tie them in and put them out the normal hole. Just so we can get a little bit more time on the dyno and not have to worry so much about the fabbing side of things, which speeds things along, which all of you will like. Until you get to this side of it, you don't really know that you need something that you didn't know you needed. So we're gonna crack on, and you get to watch it in fast forward. This is gonna look pretty bad, guys, but it's quick. So that's what we need right now. Idea is to just clear the intake of the new turbo so that we don't get sort EGR into there. If you're wondering how long it takes to eye an angle and get it right, about 25 years. So our shocks are actually off getting rebuilt. They've been on the car for many years. So everybody knows we run Gazard suspension in the car. So Scotty's got our rear shocks right now, revalving them, re-oil, putting new oil in them, flashing them up. And we'll get them on, but for the time being, you can't really get on a dyno without them because the back suspension stretches so far and bounces around. It's not the best thing to have happen to a tail shaft. So we're just going to put this in. It'll replicate a shock. It'll stop the rear suspension moving around so much, and we'll get on the dyno. Shocks normally go in there. We're going to sit it in there, bolt it up, or Kalo will, and that will stop suspension separating and moving around while we're trying to dyno, because it's scary enough. We're a little bit quieter right now, so we are hooking up the combustion analysis just to see where we are on our timing, which will help this little dyno session a little bit, just more for safety reasons than anything, just so we can see that all the changes that we have made has helped. So Scotty's going to do his bit and we'll just check it on this end and we'll be right. So we're just timing it right now, just making sure the crank angle sensor is actually reading what we're trying to see. So we'll dial that in before we do it, because every car is different by 1 or 3 degrees. So, and because we had this on another car a couple of weeks ago, we're dialing Frank in now with it.
Just gonna up the rail pressure a little bit because we've basically been going easy on it till we got semi-control, because obviously catching a spike of rail pressure, it happens real quick. So the lower you set your base, you know, if it jumps 20 MPa off throttle or something like that, it's only going up 20 MPa, so you're still in the safe zone under 200. Whereas now I'm pretty happy with the control we've got. So I'm just going to lift the rail pressure up in the top and we'll see how she goes. Hopefully we'll punch out close to 1,000 horsepower on this next pull. Go from there.
All right, so made 900 horsepower. We knew it was going to go up in horsepower as soon as we started adding rail. It shortens the width of the injector open time as well too, which is a good thing. So it bashes it in there at a higher pressure, makes it more efficient. The combustion burn actually happens at an earlier stage, which we checked, and we're pretty safe with everything on the timing side of things now. It easily makes over 1,000 horsepower fuel only with its old setup. Currently the big turbo is only running like 14 pounds, so it needs a lot more fuel to drive how big it is. So we're going to see this thing sort of come alive now when we start adding more fuel and the cooling shot, particularly in between the 2 turbos. The next run, we're just going to do just cooling the front intercooler just so I can get through there a little bit easier. And then we'll go to the nitrous shot hopefully before all the boys come back from lunch. And then a later tune this afternoon with the afternoon dyno session, maybe more nitrous. Right, so you've seen the boys up the back there. If you didn't know, this is how a watered air intercooler works. We've got a little tank up the back, a little pump. We put the ice cold water in there, and it pumps it all the way up to the front here. It's got an in and an out down the bottom, and makes the core cold, so makes the air denser. So we just gave it a hit. Something that it's never done before is like carry that horsepower right out to the bitter end. So what we're doing right now is we're just going to check functionality on fuel added with duty cycle on the nitrous, and if it adds it there, we're going to sort of pull up where we are right now. It's sort of that 1400 mark. Be happy with that. But it's definitely a bit more rowdier at the top end. So that was pretty much 2,000 newton meters right out past 5,000 RPM. So it's pretty cool, and we're only at like 250 milligrams per stroke. So it's extremely efficient. The Dynamite diesel injectors are on point. Like they are very, very efficient. Super impressive. All right, so I think this will be about where we wrap this video up. So the last couple of days, we've had some niggling issues because of a gearbox plug that didn't quite lock out. And pretty much the outcome was our lockup didn't come in. So we were flaring, we were adding fuel today, thinking it should have come up with rail pressure, and it didn't. The horsepower didn't come up, so yeah, we looked further, lockup's not in. So now the lockup's in, we had a bit of an eventful lunchtime dyno session where we were reaching for like 240 MPa in rail pressure, and we were just adding fuel that way to make things more efficient. Found out the lockup wasn't in, locked that in, and just with a little bit of too much duty cycle on the pump, went to 250, filled up our little Coke bottle reservoir there, and we made like 1,670 horsepower. Now we weren't reaching for that kind of power, but now it's there. For some weird reason, I fumbled the fingers on the keyboard and we didn't record it. So we figured, while we're here, we'll record it because that's the most power we've ever made. And it's already doing it, and it's done it safely, and we don't have anything showing signs of weakness anywhere or of anything broken. So we're gonna record this. This will cap this video off, and the next one that you see will be doing skids, at least. Let's get into it.